I'm Clarke Speaks, the catastrophic injury lawyer. Welcome to The Verdict.
So I'm thinking about the story that you kind of just explained, and obviously there's different emotional tools that you're going to have to employ with this, whether it's a husband or wife, this spouse, and um, you have these, this information that you need to find, these boxes that you want to check, um, but you also are, I'm assuming, some mode of support because this spouse, you were probably one of the first phone calls that they made following them figuring out that their partner has been in a bad accident. I guess how and which emotional tools would you employ in a situation like this?
Well, so the serious catastrophic injury is kind of what we are known for. We do ordinary rear end collisions on Market Street and Independence Boulevard and Glenwood or whatever, all over the state. We do those kinds of cases. So we do. But the cases that we are known for regionally in the southeastern United States is for catastrophic cases, where people are very, very seriously injured. And part of the reason for that is, of our commitment, right, to help people recover physically and financially, emotionally. And we try to do it comprehensively. And the reason we put the podcast out there, and whether we represent people or these people or not, we want them to be educated and informed so they can make good decisions. But part of that is just a commitment to be able to want to help these people, and this is the people that I have chosen as my calling, right? And part of my gift and my curse is that I feel like I can feel some of what these people are feeling. You know what I mean? Like I can feel some of what this lady was feeling. And this was 15 years ago. But I'm sitting there and I'm watching her kids run around, and they're 3 and 4, so they're probably 20 years old now. And dad is gone. Dad did not recover from that particular episode, and so I can feel some of what they're feeling in this situation. So that is, my gift in this world, and that is also my curse. So that gives me the motivation that I need to do what is otherwise a difficult job. But very quickly I have to be able to go, okay, hey, because I'm thinking about my kids, right? I come from a very, very close family. I'm close to my kids. I'm close to my wife. Like I'm close to my brother and mother and my family, as most people are, And so I think about how it might affect me and how it might affect them. And then I have to sort of say, hey, snap out of this. It's not about you. It's about somebody else. And I have to get back to work. But me being able to feel that and connect with these people who've been through these things is absolutely critical. And the reason why I think we're good at this and we're real good at this is because I can feel some of what they feel. I can feel some of their pain. I can feel some of their fear. I can feel some of their uncertainty. And then that helps me focus on and commit to doing the things that need to be done in order to protect them and because at the end of this, what I want to be able to do is I want to be able to win, lose, or draw, look at this same person or people and know that I have done every single thing that was humanly possible to help them through this difficult situation and to make them as whole as they can legally be after experiencing something like this.
And of course, like you said, I'm sure it is somewhat of a curse. It's a, emotional toll, but at the same time, it seems as though you are going to do whatever you can to really represent these people well because you feel that and you see what they're going through and their young children and the spouse. And I think that it's probably a challenging task kind of to get through this, but at the same time, it ought to be, I guess, I don't want to say rewarding, but at some point, you can feel some kind of pleasure giving that wife and children what they maybe need to make rent or to make that little league payment.
I never forget. I've said this before, but when my kids are little, we used to have at my house, like on Saturday mornings, for example, we'd have these. We'd have a dance party, right? My kids are like 4 and 5 years old, right? So I'd get up early with them, and we'd hang out, and I'd play like videos or whatever, and they'd just go crazy and dance, and we'd have a good time. Okay, so My son, Nicholas, he was probably 5 years old. I put on Madagascar, the movie. I put on Move It, right? And he and his sister and maybe some other kids, sleepover kids or whatever, are just going crazy, dancing and all this. He's wearing black sweatpants. He's wearing these big police officer sunglasses, no shirt, and he's sweating and he's just getting down, you know. He stops and he's out of breath and he comes sits beside me and he goes, Dad, yeah. He goes, God put me on this earth to dance on the stage. And I'm like, right on, man. That's cool. Now, so since then, he has followed other pursuits, and he has not followed that particular pursuit. But I remember thinking, how great it would be to have that kind of clarity of purpose. To know this is why I'm on the earth. This is why God made me. And so it wasn't much longer after that when I had that sort of clarity of purpose in my life. I'm like, this is why I am here. Now I'm here to do other things too. I'm here to be a father and a husband and all that kind of stuff. And I'm, a faith is important to me. So I'm here to do the best I can to live out my obligations consistent with my faith. But professionally, that's why I am here, you know? And so, uh, for me to have that kind of clarity of purpose is important. And it serves as a compass for me to know what I should do and a tool for evaluation to know if I have done my job well. And so yeah, it is 100% rewarding to be able to fulfill what you believe is your purpose. So my mom, for example, was an educator. She taught third grade, and she was dead serious about it. So I mean, even after long after she retired, she taught Sunday school, and she was just and so then now she's retired from that, and so she's in an assisted living facility after she lived with us for a long time. She's got Alzheimer's and can't remember very much, but I saw when she retired from being retired, from Sunday school and church and all that, that she really struggled because everybody envisions retirement, but then we want to be useful. We want to be able to do the things that we were created to do. And so I don't really have any interest in retirement or looking forward to retirement really because I really like this thing that I do and I think I'm good at it and I think it serves a purpose. I'm sure that you hear people talk about ambulance chasers and all that kind of stuff and I've said it myself and in fact we have a campaign, a marketing campaign that plays on that, like we're so dedicated ambulances chase us, right? This is supposed to be a funny but so I get that not everybody thinks that personal injury lawyers are superheroes. That's okay. But it's what I was put on this earth to do professionally, and I do get an enormous amount of satisfaction by doing it well. And like I remember, we got a call from a adult daughter of a person who had been catastrophically injured, and when my office is positioned, I can hear the calls coming in sometimes, right? And so I remember hearing them on the phone and gathering information, and it was a bad, bad, bad accident. And so while I was on the phone, while they were on the phone, I was booking plane tickets to go down to the Shepherd Center in Atlanta, Georgia. That's where they treat people that have very serious permanent spinal injuries. Phenomenal facility. So I go down with some of my guys and we go down there and when I walk in and meet the family, it is a somber time. It's very much like the time I described to you a few minutes ago. You know what I mean? There's kids running around out in the hallway and you're meeting in a waiting room and everybody's fearful and doctors running around. You're trying to stay out of their way and give them the space they need to do their jobs. But at this point in time, in my career, I'm like, okay, I know what I'm doing. I know what information I need. I know what information I need for you and I just need a chance to go to work. I can't make this person better. I cannot, if I could make them better, I'd have done it already. I can't do it. That's not my job and I can't do that. I can pray. I did that already on the way over, So now what can I do? Well, I can do what I do, right? And my job is to make these people whole again after something terrible. And so my job is to take inventory of what's going on, not just physically, not just from an evidentiary perspective, but also emotionally. And so then what I can do later is go, now I can use that emotional currency to do the things that I need to do. So later on time when it's challenging, when I'm like, hey, should I do this victim impact video? You know what I mean? Is it necessary? Should I do this focus group? I mean, is it necessary? Uh, they've offered this much money at mediation. That's probably enough, you know? And then I think back to that instant, to that moment, and to the commitment that I made. I'm like, no, it's not enough. It's absolutely not enough. No, we're going to do this victim impact. No, we're going to do this focus group. And if I don't like how this focus group goes, we're going to do it again. And and then when you do those things, and you do those things the way they should be done, for the right reasons in the right way, um, with that commitment in mind and with the experience behind you of having done it before under very serious circumstances, then at the end, when you hand that person a check that is substantial and that is, more importantly, is as adequate as it can possibly be to cover an unimaginable loss. Somebody's burned in a fire, loses limbs, loses a loved one or whatever, but you got every nickel there was, you know, and you got it, and then that family now can replace that lost income, can get that medical care that he or she needs, can get that medical care when you're old. You know what I mean? Like, what happens? Imagine a child injured in an accident, and you think that's permanent, right? And you think, okay, well, you know, they don't need attendant care. The parents can do that. Well, the parents have to work, and then also the child's 12, the parents are 40. What happens when the parents are die and the child's 50 years old? You know what I mean, or 60 years old? Like, what happens then? If we have done these things and done these things correctly and done these things in the right way, with the framework through the lens of experience, with that commitment, then I can know that when I conclude this case, I can feel like, hey, this is the best that could be done. That anybody could do for you, in my opinion, the entire world, regardless of their experience, regardless of their resources, regardless of their track record or whatever, you know. And that to me is a good feeling to know that we have done every single thing that could be done to help this family. Thanks for joining us. Don't forget to subscribe and follow us to stay up to date with our weekly episodes. We'll see you next time.